Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Marzan, and in this video, if you can't already tell from the title, it's going to be about a Q&A. Just basically some random questions I came up with just to switch it up a little bit on this channel and for you guys to kind of tag along and maybe get to know me a little bit. So the answers to these questions are basically in no particular order, and you know, I might forget some answers just because this is almost off the top of my head. Yeah, so that being said, let's get straight into it. So the first question is a food related question, and it says sweet or savory. For me, savory all day. I do not care anything about sweets. Like if I saw sweet, it does not tingle any sensation in my mind whatsoever. Savory all day for me, particularly crisps. Don't judge me, but I mean, I used to have maybe even like 4 packets a day, which wasn't necessarily good, and I wouldn't recommend it. But now that I've gotten older, you know, I try to avoid buying crisps. I do have it here and there, but nothing like before. And I don't usually have any packets in my house, because once I have one packet, the second one goes down just as easily, basically. See, it's already making my mouth salivate. Yeah, crisps for sure, savory for sure. Okay, second question is favorite chocolates. Okay, so I don't crave chocolates as I would or do for like crisps, but I do still like chocolates. My favorites probably be Snickers, Ferrero Rocher. I do sometimes like the seasonal ones you get, like, you know, the golden coins, which are plain chocolates, but just like small amounts of those are quite nice. And not to sound particular, but just a bit particular, I like the blue packet M&Ms below room temperature. If it's too warm, I just put it in the fridge for a bit because I like it crispy, but not too cold at the same time. So yeah, that's my story with chocolates. The reason why I also tend to avoid chocolates, probably even more so than crisps, because they tend to give me spots and it makes me fat real quick. So yeah. The third question is my favorite TV series, excluding cartoons and anime. Okay, first one, easy. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Grew up with that, love that. Based on the family, entertaining, funny, and also serious. My Wife and Kids, another one. Kind of similar in the sense of based on the family, entertaining, funny, but also serious, but just kind of different from Fresh Prince. Friends is also good, but rather than family, it's based on Friends. Again, entertaining, funny, and can be serious at times. One that I actually watched this year, which is actually a bit old, but it's the US Office, and I thought that was basically pure comedy. I really loved it. It was very lighthearted and not serious whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, I do like other series like The Big Bang Theory, and I used to watch the Wayans Brothers and all, I guess all these other ones I can't think of off the top of my head right now, but not as much as those probably. And if I was to pick one of the 4, I'd say Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, just overall. But if I was to pick one for pure comedy, definitely the US Office. Yeah, because I thought that was really funny and it was really good in my opinion. So, favorite movies. I think this is probably even more harder than the series, to be honest, for me. Right, so in general, in terms of the genre, I'd say I watch more comedy, action, and thriller, and I guess some sci-fi. Can't really think of anything else, but yeah, that's in terms of genre. I definitely say the Fast and Furious kind of like whole series, you could say. I think the earlier ones got me more. I was already interested in cars, but kind of got me a bit more interested in cars. I think the sort of more recent ones, probably even more action-packed in my opinion, less focus on the cars, but again, I still find them really good and interesting. Other movies, I really like Black Panther. I loved the Black Panther suit as well, but also the story was great. Creed 2, I really liked that. Every time I watch it, actually, it just makes me want to just do boxing and kind of like mimic it a little bit. They're probably some of my favorites. I'm sure I've got others, but I just can't think of them as my favorites right now. But I also like some seasonal ones, like Home Alone 1 is a really good one during this season. And just some random ones, like some old Jackie Chan ones, like Rush Hour was really good, I found, and like Who Am I, and there's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kindergarten Cop, and Gone in 60 Seconds, just a whole bunch really, Die Hard, although I don't remember watching all of them, but the earlier ones I'm sure I did watch. Just like even like Harry Potter and just some other random ones. And like, but when it comes to thriller, I can't really think of. Oh, The Pursuit of Happiness is a really good one. Sorry, it's probably one of my favorites. And when it comes to, when it comes to thriller, I kind of like it in two aspects. So one aspect, I like, sometimes you get those thrillers where people get trapped, say on like a ship or something, or like a disaster happens and they're trying to survive. Those ones are quite interesting or like captivating. But also the ones where like people are getting chased or something by some crazy psycho. That's also quite an interesting watch. Can't think of any of the names off the top of my head. I don't do horror though. Horror is definitely not my thing. Just not interested in horror. Also just a little bit spooky. What else? So, and another question is to do with music. So some of my favorite music. Honestly, with music I'm a bit here and there. So sometimes I have periods of times where basically I just don't listen to any music at all, pretty much, and sometimes I do, and it varies really for me. So I'd probably say I listen to music from a whole bunch of eras, like 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and up to recent. Probably listen to mainstream music, genres, usually like rap, hip hop, all sorts, and I guess even more so a bit more like, you heard of LIFO beats, which is a bit more, I guess you could say like coffee shop type, studying type, or jazz type of genre vibes. They're probably some. I think I'm a bit mixed with music. It just depends how I feel. Although I do notice more recently, when I do listen to music, I tend to go back to the old ones as well quite often. That's kind of it for music. Probably not as interesting. And last question is top 3 interests right now. So number 1 is it is tech. I would say tech is something that I've always loved since I was pretty much young, and I just kind of got into it. It could be from all sorts. It could just be from like big things, just that impact the world. Like, that doesn't make sense. Basically, all sorts of tech. From like phones, laptops, keyboards, mouse, monitors, tech within cars, just general tech, space, everything, just a whole bunch of tech I find interesting. Just something about them. I love the kind of like development and how nowadays it's just pretty much integrated within our lives. It's like our phone is our second brain in a sense, or can be. People can actually run businesses off it. So definitely say tech is a big one for me. Anything particular on tech? Alright, probably nothing particular with tech. Just tech in general, my big interests. That being said, I do need to upgrade some of mine actually, hopefully soon. And another one of my interests would be definitely DIY. I think that's one thing I always also really love so much. I think just the whole aspect of kind of like building and creating and being able to make things kind of like bespoke in the way you like it. I love DIY, although I haven't really done anything that I could think of more recently, but I'd definitely like to get into it more so. Yeah, so definitely DIY. Like I love basically like setups and renovation type of things. Just always had a big interest in that. I think I just love the whole creativity aspect. I think it's something that I've always been interested in. And the last one is, I'll probably say more recently I got back into it more, is cars. I just kind of like, yeah, love cars. It's just more of the experience that you get when driving, and I just kind of like enjoy cars. And when it comes to cars, like, yeah, I'll just say like, I like the fact that, you know, like when I do drive or when I have driven, sometimes it's quite therapeutic for me, and it's just like you can just drive, almost like a sense of freedom. You can go wherever you want in a sense, and yeah, just love driving. Yeah, that's probably my top 3 interests right now, probably my biggest ones right now, but I have had them for a long time in general. So yeah, that's basically all the questions. Anyway guys, I hope you liked the video. It was something a bit different, and I thought it'd be good to make a video on something else, just switch it up a bit and just kind of like lighten the mood. And if you have any answers to the questions that I mentioned, or even some of the same answers to questions, put them in the comment section below. If you liked the video, then like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you guys in the next one.